Hi, I'm Joseph. Welcome to another episode of At Home with Joseph. Today I'm going to be making a raised garden bed and a beehive garden. Do you have an area in your yard that's very difficult to plant in, or maybe it's clay soil, or it's an unused area of your yard? Building a raised bed garden is a great opportunity to grow vegetables or flowers. And the one that I'm going to be making in our yard, I'm going to be putting cut flowers in it, so that I can cut them to make floral arrangements or give away to friends. But it's also going to help support the bee colony that we're building here. So we have this unused portion of our yard. It is actually a utility easement, so you can't build anything permanent in there. As you can see, it really is very shabby looking. It was never taken care of. And I actually thought it would be a great opportunity to utilize this area, spruce it up and make it look nice, but also make it functional. A few basic supplies that you need for building these is 2x10 lumber. I have an 8-foot piece, and our local lumber yard will rough cut pieces of wood. So instead of me bringing it home and having to cut it, I asked them to cut down a few of the 8-foot pieces into 4-foot pieces for the sides. So that work is already done for me. You also need a 4x4 post, and we're going to cut 4 20-inch pieces to corner brace each corner of the raised bed. And that's going to help to keep the raised bed square and also from shifting or buckling. And in our carport, we have our 5th resident dove who has laid eggs, and they have either hatched or they're about to be hatched any day now. But she sits up there, and she's not bothered by us coming around her or the cars coming in and out. So I'm going to use a 2.5-inch construction screw to put the sides of these together. And I'm doing the sideboards on the inside because it's going to be the length of the box that faces when you walk into that area. So I don't want to see this outside seam in the front of the box. I want that to have a nice, clean, flush look. Very simply, you're just going to line up your edge and set your screws in so that your box is square and level. And sink your screw into the wood a little bit. And I'm setting 3 screws into every side. And then they're also going to get screwed in again once we get the corner posts set in place. So if you don't have a lot of experience using a drill or screwing into wood or anything, you can actually pick up one of these drill bits. It's a longer drill bit, but it has a guide that will go over the screw to hold it in place in the wood so that you're not having to use your fingers in holding the screw trying to get it in. So the way you would use it is you get your screw placed, slip this over the screw, and it gives a guide for you to get your screw started. So if you get a piece of wood that might be a little bit bowed or warped, it's nothing to worry about, but you do want to be careful how you attach that to the rest of the box. So this one has a little bit of a bow out. In order to counter set that, because a lot of the pressure is going to be going against the wood with the soil that's going to be in here, I'm going to take the bend of the bow and put it here so that once this is attached, the soil will push against the board this way and straighten it out versus continuing to keep bowing it out in the same direction. Now that we've got our boxes built, we're going to stack 2 2x10 boxes on top of each other. So we're going to have 20 inches in length. And so I'm going to cut down my 4x4 into 8 20-inch pieces. That's going to be 4 pieces per box, and we're doing 2 boxes. I've got a skill saw to cut through the wood with. I've also got a tape measure to measure out the 20 inches. And then I've got a square that will allow me to make straight lines all around the board so that I know I'm making a straight cut every time I take a piece off. So we're going to go ahead and get all those cut, and we'll see you back to start assembling the boxes. So we have our 4 pieces of our 4x4, which is 20 inches long. And these are going to go in the corners of your beds to brace them. So these are going to keep them nice and square and keep them from twisting or bowing out or anything like that. So it's going to keep your sides really well connected to this 4x4. A lot of times when you see old raised beds that might be rotting or they're just really aged, the ends of the board start splaying out and separating. This is going to prevent that from happening. So the more reinforcing that you do in the beginning, the more success you're going to have with your planter boxes. So I'm also going to reinforce the 2 boards together with one of these ties. These are actually construction ties that are used for hurricane-proofing homes. So in the middle of the 8-foot board here, I am going to secure this right in the middle so that these boards do not start separating from one another as the pressure of the soil starts to lean on them. So there is no chance of these boards pulling apart from each other. So this is going to be nice and sturdy under the weight of the soil. This raised bed is going to last for a really long time. And now that we have our box completed, we're going to finish it off with putting some 2-foot lengths of rebar in each corner against the 4x4 post and pounding it into the ground probably about 18 to 20 inches deep. This is just going to help reinforce it and to keep it from shifting as it ages in either direction. You want to get the rebar as close to the 4x4 as you can get it. So when we return for the next episode, part 2, we're going to go ahead and fill the boxes with our soil, and I have a very special process that I use when doing that to create sort of a mulching system in the bottom that really feeds your plants. We're also going to lay some mulch or gravel in this common area to make it look really nice. And then we're going to put our plants in that support our beehive, that grows pollinating flowers and beautiful herbs, and make this a little bit of an oasis garden for our bees.